All right, folks, today we are going to talk about the best gaming monitors of 2023, at least so far this year. I've got monitors for both PC and console players across all price ranges. So whether you are on a tighter budget or you're looking to splurge, maybe with that tax refund, I have got you covered. So let's just start off with the best of the best for you PC players, and that is this 34-inch curved ultra wide from Alienware. This will get you up to 175 frames per second, and while that certainly isn't the highest out there in the market, it's more than enough for most players, even you first-person shooter players. It's a 1440p resolution, which is the sweet spot for gaming right now, and it's an ultra wide, which makes for a really fun and immersive experience. And if you think you can't be competitive on an ultra wide, think again, because I recently dropped a video that I'll link to down below where I compare widescreens versus ultra wides, specifically playing Call of Duty, and I actually perform best on an ultra wide. Now, with these kind of specs, you might be asking, why on earth is this monitor so expensive? That would be the QD OLED display, which means you are going to get incredible motion handling and picture quality that you simply just aren't going to find on your typical IPS or VA display. So it's going to be a very nice picture. Now, what about you console players? Right now, the Samsung Odyssey Neo G7 is incredible for both the PS5 or Xbox, regardless of whether you're on the Series X or the Series S. It's got a 32-inch curved 4K screen, HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, and a very fast response time. The mini LED backlighting on this is going to allow for brighter highlights in HDR, and overall, you'll be able to take advantage of all of your console's performance features with this monitor, no problem. Now, what if you don't have or simply don't want to drop over $1,000 on a gaming monitor? That's where the Gigabyte M32U comes in, and this has been a fan favorite, especially for console players, because it gets you that 4K picture and a high 144Hz refresh rate without breaking the bank. The HDMI 2.1 bandwidth means that you'll be able to take advantage of variable refresh rates on both PC and console, and if you're wondering why this monitor is considerably cheaper than the previous one, it's because this monitor doesn't have mini LED backlighting. So while the picture is still going to look really good, you're not going to get as good of a picture as you would on the previous one, especially when you're in a dark room or if you're using HDR. Nevertheless, when it comes to simple return on investment, I think for console players especially, it is hard to beat this monitor. And by the way, all of these monitors will be linked in this video as well as down below in the description. Next up, we have the Gigabyte M27QX, which has a lot of similarities to the previous monitor, but some key differences that make it a lot more affordable. First, it's a 27-inch display instead of a 32-inch, and you're getting a 1440p picture instead of 4K. Now, having said that, you're getting a 240Hz refresh rate, as well as native FreeSync VRR support and G-Sync compatibility, which means regardless of your GPU, you will not have to worry about screen tearing. Honestly, if I'm a PC player, I'm taking this monitor over the previous M32U because I don't care for 4K, because while my PC is a pretty good gaming PC, it's not a powerhouse machine, and I would prefer to put those resources towards a really high frame rate. So I think this is the better buy for most PC players, and you're saving some money in the process. Now, last but certainly not least, for those PC players who are on a much tighter budget, but hate the idea of having to play on a 24-inch screen or at 1080p, I absolutely love this 27-inch display from Scepter because it gets you a 1440p picture on an IPS display, and you're getting up to a 165Hz refresh rate. And this monitor typically sells closer to $200. As of this recording, you can see right now on Amazon, it's priced at about $260, which honestly still isn't a bad price for these specs. But if you take a look at the price history over at techaudit.tv, you can see that the 90-day average for this monitor is just a little over $200. So if you're seeing it right now and it's slightly higher, I would wait for this monitor to drop. Just because it typically will drop down closer to that like 209, 207 price point. And by the way, if you don't already have techaudit.tv bookmarked, I will link to that below, and it's my personal favorite way to just quickly find monitor deals because it searches all of the big retailers at once, so you don't need to hop around from site to site. If you are newer to the world of gaming monitors, I would highly suggest checking out this video right here, which breaks down in very simple terms everything you need to know when purchasing a gaming monitor. Enjoy.